Okay, hello students. Now today we are going to see how to find the solutions of quadratic equation. Okay, by different methods. Now they are following few methods with the help of which we can find the solution of quadratic equation. Here the first one is the factorization method, completing square method, and next one is the formula method. Now let's start with the first method, that is the factorization method. Now what is this factorization method? As I always say, the solution is in the name itself. What it says, factorization, means obviously we have to find the factors, or we will get some factors here with the help of which we can find the solutions of a quadratic equation. Now let's see how to do this. We will see this by an example. Suppose I am taking an example. Simple example we'll take firstly. Suppose this is y square plus 3y plus 2 is equals to 0. Okay, now we have to find, this is a quadratic equation. Yes, this is the standard form of a quadratic equation. Now we have to solve this, and that is we have to find the solution for this quadratic equation. Now how to do this with the help of factorization method? Look here, we have to consider the coefficient of first and last term. That means the coefficient of y square and the constant term. So here the coefficient of y square is, there is nothing, means there is 1 here. So coefficient of y square is 1, and your last term is 1, that is constant is 1. We have to multiply this two term, that is coefficient of y square into constant term. What we get here, this is equals to 2. Now we have to find the factor of this 2 such that by adding or subtracting that factor we'll get this coefficient of the middle term, that means we'll get the coefficient of y here. So what do we get here? The product of first and last term is 2. So the factors of 2 are 2 into 1. Only the one factor we are finding here, no other factor, since 2 is a prime number. So 2 into 1, this is the only factor. Now what is our middle term? Middle term is 3 here. Means if I add this two number, that is if I add this 2 plus 1, we'll get here 3. Yes, that is we are getting the middle term here. So these factors we are using here. So how to write this now? Now in the solution what we are going to do, we are going to write our first term as it is, that is y square as it is, this plus as it is. Instead of this 3y, now I am substituting this two factor, that is 2 and 1. We have to write y as it is. So y square plus 2y plus this 1 into y as it is, and the plus 2 is equals to 0. Okay, so what we have done, we have just multiply the first and last term, and then we find the factor of that 2, split up them, and we have to substitute that two values in the instead of the middle term. Next one, we are going to make the pairs of the first two and the last two. Now from the first two, what common thing we are finding? We are seeing that y is common here. So take y outside of the bracket. Inside of the bracket remains this y. From y square, 1y go outside and 1y remains, plus this 2 will remain as it is. This y goes outside. Now from here, there is no number is common, that means 1 is common here. So into bracket, this is y plus 2 is equals to 0. Now again look here, this y plus 2 and y plus 2, this is the common bracket here. So take this common bracket for one time, and remaining terms we are going to write in the next bracket. So from this y is remain, from here this plus 2 is plus 1 is remain. So y plus 2 plus y plus 1 is equals to 0. Again we know one thing, that product of any two numbers, right? We know that, no need to write here, I am writing for your understanding. We know that product of any term, any two numbers is equals to 0, then either of them is 0. Then either a will be equals to 0 or b will be equals to 0. This is the common thing, is a into b. Suppose I am taking this a as 2, then obviously your b will be equals to 0. Then and then only we will get that a multiplied by b is equals to 0. Same thing we are going to use here. Therefore this equation 1 can be written as, therefore equation 1 becomes, or can be written as, this y plus 2 is equals to 0, or the second bracket, that is y plus 1 is equals to 0. So what this implies? this y plus 2 is equals to 0. What we want? We want the solution of a quadratic equation. That means we want the value of this variable y. So from here I can write y is equal to, this is plus 2, when it will goes to this side this is equals to minus 2, and same here y is equals to minus 1, that is minus 2 and minus 1 are the solution or the roots of given quadratic equation, or roots of given quadratic equation. So understood what we have done here? We have simply multiplied the coefficient of first and last term, then we have find the factors of that two, and either we have to add or subtract the factors so that we will get the middle term here. So I had, since it is plus 3 and this is 2 and 1, so I simply added here, so 3, and instead of this plus 3y I substituted this as 2y plus 1y. Then we have to take this, we have to make the pairs of the first two and the last two numbers, take out the common term one, then we will get this two factor, y plus 2 into y plus 1 is equals to 0, and we know that product of two numbers is equals to 0, then either them of 1 will be equals to 0. Using that we get that y plus 2 equals to 0 and y plus 1 is equals to 0, that is y is equals to minus 2 or y is equals to plus 1. So therefore these two are the roots of given quadratic equation. Okay, now let's take another example. Suppose I am taking the next example as suppose it is 4x square minus x minus 3 is equals to 0. Now let's find the solution for this one. Okay, again what we have to do, we have to multiply the first and the last term, that is the coefficient of x square and the constant term. So here the coefficient of x square is 4 and your last term is minus 3, that is 4 into minus 3 which is equals to minus 12. Now we have to find the factors of minus 12 so that we will get middle term is equals to minus 1. Okay, so 12 minus 12 is 3 into 4, 3 4s are 12. 3 minus 4 we will get here whatever sign of middle term is there, that sign we are going to give to the bigger one. So it is 3 minus 3 into minus 4 we will get minus 12, and suppose I subtract this two term, that is minus 4 plus 3, whether we will get here minus 1? Yes, obviously we will get here minus 1. So we are going to consider these two factors only. So let's do here, instead of the middle term, this is 4x square, instead of minus x we will get here minus 4x, and this is plus 3x, and this minus 3 will remain as it is. What we have done, we have kept first and last term as it is, only instead of the middle term we have substituted these two factors here. So again this implies, again make a pair of first and last two terms, first two terms and last two terms. From this two what comes common? This 4 is common, and here is also x, here is also x, that is x is common here. So in bracket remains from 4x square, 4x goes, x remains, and this is minus 1, nothing is here now, 4x go left, so only 1 will remain here. Again here, now from these two terms 3 will come common, inside of the bracket remains, from 3x 3 goes, x will remain, this is minus 3 goes, there is nothing, that means 1 will remain here, so which is equals to 0. Now again this implies this is the common bracket here, so write down that common bracket for only one time, and whatever is remain write down that in the another bracket, that is 4x plus 3 is equals to 0. Again we know that if the product of two terms is 0, two numbers is 0, then obviously one of them is equals to 0, that is x minus 1 is equals to 0, or this 4x plus 3 is equals to 0. That means this implies x minus 1 is equals to 0, that means x is equals to 1, or same here we have to find the value of x. So 4x as it is, plus 3 will goes to this side, that is minus 3. Since we have to find value of x, we will keep x as it is, and this 4 is multiplied, so when it will goes to this side, it will goes to the dividing, that is we are having x is equals to 1 or x is equals to minus 3 by 4, that is this plus 1 and minus 3 by 4 are the roots of the given quadratic equation, are the roots of given quadratic equation, given quadratic equation. So this is the factorization method. It is very easy. Find out the factors of the first and last term. Product of the do the product of first and the last term. Find the factors of that products so that we will get the middle term there. So this is the factorization method. Do it properly. And one more thing, to get the notify for the next videos, you have to subscribe for this channel. So subscribe it and click on the bell button. And the most important thing, stay home, stay safe.